What's up, Ryan?
I'm here on a safari hunt to hunt the exotic, rare Tasmanian devil.
Oh,
And
wow.
on this quest, I have a live interview with a Tasmanian devil
Oh,
himself.
boy. Okay. Let's
Sir,
hear it.
what do you think the upcoming election? Do you think Republican, Democrat? What are your thoughts on the issues? I think Joe Biden's a word.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Looney Duels. How are you? How you doing? How's it going? How's your family?
Please talk to me. I long for attention.
Well, we're here today to talk about some Looney Tunes. Is that correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Maybe. We have some exciting new developments, I think. I feel like we've been kind of hitting a rough patch. We watched Lunatics Unleashed. We watched Space Jam 2. Maybe we need to get back to what really matters, and that's power scaling the Looney Tunes, which is what we do here on this podcast today. So we are introducing a new player into the field. I just thought we talk about him sometimes, but we don't know him, Our dear friend, beloved 90s icon, Taz, the Tasmanian devil. We only get to see him in movies and stuff. We've never really dived into his shorts, so I thought that would be a perfect time to do so.
If you're not a Taz head, like 99% of people, Taz is actually only in about 5 classic shorts, which sounds like not a lot, for being someone who's so prevalent in Looney Tunes branding and merchandising, but he's there. He's only in 5. Only 5 of them.
Now, I want to say before we start that Ryan was so not into doing a Taz episode. She was like, no, I don't want to watch Taz shorts. I don't really find Taz that funny. And then we started watching it, and she was fucking guffawing over there. She was having a great time. So I think, you know what? Taz is good, I think.
I will get into it. I think later iterations of Taz maybe have missed the joke of Taz. We'll get into that as we go along. I have some things to say about Taz characterization.
Alrighty, well, let's start with the premiere short, Devil May Hare. Ooh. So this one is about Taz. He's in the wilderness, he's running around eating animals and stuff, and Bugs decides, you know what? He's not okay with that. He's got to stop him. He's the protector of the forest.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing about Bugs. Most of the time he's kind of just self-defensing himself. This is a very heroic Bugs. He's kind of protecting the forest and wildlife. he shows concern for his fellow animal in this one, which is maybe a bit of a new characterization for him we haven't seen quite yet.
Yeah, usually it's if somebody messes with him, he gets up, dusts his, pants off and gets to work. But in this one, he's kind of involving himself already off the bat. It kind of to help the other animals out because they are all absolutely terrified of Taz. And who wouldn't be? Let's take a look at Taz's stats here. His raw power, right?
Yeah.
He's really fast. He spins like a tornado. He's got these big teeth, but he's also got he's got opposable thumbs. So he's not just a wild animal. He can grab you, if he really wanted to grab you, or he could operate heavy machinery or even a gun. So
and he's not stupid. We see immediately in this one, he knows how to write.
Yeah, he does. He does know how to write. And another thing, he talks a decent amount in this one.
That when I was talking about that characterization thing earlier, I think later, maybe just beyond these classic shorts he's in, very few, the one joke they have for Taz is he screams and spits, and that's all he does. I feel in both these shorts we watched, the kind of joke is that he's a wild animal, and he's crazy, but when he talks, he's honestly kind of well articulated when he talks. He's fancy words, big words. He puts himself together very well when he talks, compared to I think anything later he's in where he screams and he spits and that's it.
Yes. So they go back and forth. They're teasing each other. They're I feel exchanging equal blows. I would say Taz is keeping up. He's doing all right.
He's doing better than your average Elmer Fudd for sure.
And then we get the special ooey gooey bubblegum moment.
Oh my gosh, you know it. Taz is weak to gum. Gum is a Taz weakness.
So you just have to shove a piece of gum in his mouth and he becomes, I guess, he's not able to get you with his teeth. Would you say that his teeth are, like, important to his power level?
I would say so. I mean, that's kind of his main form of attacking, is eating things and chomping things. Like, we see he chomps trees, he eats animals, I did write in my notes, don't quite remember the context for this specifically. I did write in all caps, throat goat.
I also wrote throat goat. I don't remember what he ate in one gulp, but I also wrote throat goat in my notes.
Yeah, Taz is like mouth area. What a great thing to say. Taz's mouth area is kind of his big strong point in general. His big fucking mouth, his teeth. Apparently he can swallow like nothing else.
Well, does he even have, like, claws or anything like that? I mean, I don't really, like, see them, and nor do I think he really uses them that much.
Not really, no. I'm looking at a picture of him right now. I'm pulling up a picture. He doesn't...
Yeah, let me pull up my Looney Tunes stock images real quick.
No, I'm looking through a few Taz pictures of, like, various things of him doing. He doesn't really have claws, no. I think it's all in the teeth.
His mouth makes up, like, a good percentage of his body.
Yes.
So he's kind of got that chaotic energy to him. And if he got a hold of you, he would, like, eat you to the bone. Like, there would be nothing left.
Oh, yeah, no, like I said, he is so powerful in that throat area. He is the throat goat.
It's funny, they really do just, like, dumb him down considerably in later iterations, considering in the Looney Tunes show he's like a dog.
He's a dog, yeah.
He's Bugs Bunny's dog.
I don't think he says a single word in Space Jam 2.
Probably not. I think he just gets caught by Rick and Morty, and that's it.
Yeah, and then he was...
The important thing here is I want to ask this. So, we play a little fast and loose with our theories a lot of the times, and one of our more, one of the ones that's been popping up a lot more here is Taz Wile E. Coyote's shadow form or dark form, like how, Porky has one of those. And in that question, because Taz is so different here than he later becomes, is tapping into that dark form, is it like a process? Like when you first dip your toes and you change and you turn, you're not like fully gone quite yet.
So what you're saying is the Taz we see here is like kind of an early transformation for Wile E. Like he's still... Okay, and then later on, when Taz forgets he has a character personality, that's when he's like fully like he's like embraced like the persona.
Yes, exactly. Like, do you think it's a kind of progression in that way?
I can see that. Like, yeah, like the more he gets into the role, the more he's just gone. Like the more, more like his brain or like transforms in a way where it's like all he can think about is eat, mouth, teeth, attack.
Yes, because he, like you said, he says like words. He says like he's pretty articulate. He says kind of more sophisticated words, which is something that we've seen Wile E. Coyote do in the shorts
when
that
he speaks,
can.
Yes.
Yeah, the shorts where he can speak. Like Wile E. Coyote sucks in a lot of ways, but he's not. I don't know if I'd call him like unintelligent.
No, he's
like,
not stupid.
Yeah, like he's definitely got some prowess to him. Like he's an engineer of some sort, He's got a brain up there, and maybe you could see it in these like little moments where Taz kind of talks and is a little bit more coherent, and then he just kind of goes back to spitting and running around like a crazy animal. Yeah. So maybe it is kind of like a slow, kind of something you have to build up to, which I guess means we have to kind of reevaluate like Dark Porky. Like, have we even seen like true Dark Porky, like farthest far gone?
Oh my god, we haven't even seen his ultimate form, which in a way I think just makes Porky a bit scarier, because I would say Dark Porky is already on this level. Right,
but like I feel like he's not fully gone yet.
Yeah, if anything, this Taz analysis has only made Dark Porky stronger.
Yeah, let's put a pin in that and talk about the ending here. So Bugs decides the best way to deal with Taz, because he can't overpower him, like he just can't get rid of this guy, is to get a female Tasmanian devil and then marry them off, and then they fly away on their honeymoon, and that's the way the short ends.
Yeah, if there's something you can say about Bugs Bunny, is that he's a thinking man.
That's true. Now, obviously this is kind of a win for Bugs because he got rid of his immediate problem, but Taz got a beautiful wife, and it's presumably a happy life. So what does that mean for him?
We see his wife ever again?
No. I don't think so, at least.
Marriage didn't work out? Marriage didn't work
No, oh
out.
my god, that's so sad.
I think it's the Bugs one. It didn't work out for Taz in the long run.
Taz and his beautiful wife go to on their honeymoon, and they have a wonderful, passionate night together, and then they wake up in the morning and his wife looks over and Wile E. Coyote's sitting in the bed instead because he reverted back and she was not into it, so she left him. Wile E. was so confused, but also kind of sad. What life did he have?
just to get back on, the Wile E. Taz thing. I think, like Wile's Yowie for Bugs Bunny not working out transformed him in a way.
You think that it was like some sort of reaction to that?
Yeah, like Bugs like, not interested, Nick. And then that little like British wolf man fell apart and his brain collapsed and he just slowly started transforming after the rejection of his Yowie.
Well, where does Roadrunner like fall into this equation then? Would it not be because of how mad he's gone for trying to get the Roadrunner?
No, he's used to it. But like Bugs was like special. Bugs,
that's true.
You see the way he talks to Bugs, like the way he acts, like love, like he's like a gay little man. Like he loved Bugs. And when it didn't work out with Bugs, he couldn't get that bunny in his like little hands. It broke him a bit.
That might be true. I think that Wile E. Coyote desired Bugs in the same way you might desire a delicious hamburger and then get really sad that you didn't get your hamburger. But I don't know if
Bugs was a double cheeseburger.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say it was love, more like a sick, twisted like want.
Right.
Like a want, you just want it so bad and you just can't have it. Like it's not happening for you. First the Roadrunner, then Bugs, who is this delicious double stacked cheeseburger with fries and extra sauce, and you can't even have that. So then you turn to dark form, and that's where Taz came from. That's how Taz was born.
Roadrunner was just the salad.
Roadrunner was the appetizer and the Coke, and that's it.
Bugs Bunny was so much more to him. It was the cheeseburger.
Well, next up,
quick, before you start this next one, can you look at this picture of Taz I just saw?
Yeah, I guess I can. Oh no! Where did this come from?
I don't know, but look at him. He's cool.
What suit is that? Does he have a little suit or something? That's like a superhero suit.
I think he's supposed to be the Flash.
Oh. Clever.
I'm the Flash. Like him, though? Do you like him?
I love him. You know what? I'm coming around. So next we have Dr. Devil and Mr. Hare, which is another Taz versus Bugs Bunny situation. And this one is an interesting one because it mostly revolves around Bugs Bunny pretending to be a doctor, and he's just constantly going through these not only like little sets he has, but costumes. And I don't know if we've ever had the conversation, like, when Bugs does this shit, does he just have like a wardrobe off-site? Like, does he pre-plan his personas? Like, does he have like an arsenal of personalities and costumes he can whip up at a moment's notice?
I think Bugs loves making characters. He sits there all day when he's like not being trying to get super murdered by someone. And he's just like making characters to be. He's like, oh, tomorrow I want to be a cowboy, and the next day, I could put on that little waitress dress that someone got me. Oh, I could be the waitress soon. Oh, that'd be fun.
Does he build the sets? Like he has like whole doctor's offices in.
Yeah. No, he's into it. He loves being characters.
In this, Taz has like I feel like somewhat of a conscience we can see, where he seems concerned when he gets sick. He seems. He's not like a bloodthirsty monster. He's like having full-on conversations with Bugs. He like, when he's like a therapist, he like sits down and starts talking to him about like his life. Like, I don't know. There's something deeper in there, right? With Taz?
Yeah, maybe for a brief moment, Wile E. came out.
Oh yeah, like he's just talking about his childhood and stuff.
Wait a minute. Here's the question to ask. Does Bugs know this is Wile E?
I don't think he does. I think that although Bugs is very powerful, I don't think he's all-knowing. And I think there's a lot of things that he doesn't know, or it just doesn't like cross his path.
I'm just imagining Elmer. He's like, there's a lot of things you don't know, Wabbit.
You know that Taz guy? Yeah, look closer.
We'll go a bit closer, Wabbit.
No, I don't think Bugs knows. I think that the way that Taz presents himself is so like fundamentally different from how Wile E does that trying to like you'd have to really start connecting the dots there. And Bugs is too busy like doing his shtick to really pay attention to that sort of thing. I don't know if he would like feel sad for Wile E if he found out, or if he would like almost be repulsed or like disgusted by like what he's seeing, because I don't think he knows a lot about like shadow forms or dark forms or anything like that.
No, Bugs Bunny's is always in Bugs form.
Yeah, and he mostly deals with like Elmer and Yosemite, and neither of them really have dark forms. They haven't unlocked that yet. That we've seen. So he doesn't have a ton of experience in dealing with it. So we kind of have this situation where he's seeing Taz, and he just kind of chalks him up as like, another run-of-the-mill antagonist for him, someone he can mess around with.
Right.
He even like fake gives him a kid, and Taz seems like happy. Like he gives him like a bundle of blankets that's like dynamite or something, and he's like, here you go, here's your baby. And Taz is like really happy about it.
Oh, he like tears up and it's like happy. He's like, this is the best day of his life.
Yeah, and it's kind of sweet in a way.
It's like, he's kind of just like, I have purpose now.
Yeah, and then here's the fun part here. Taz gives Bugs like a cigar, like hey, like congratulations, I had a baby, here, have a cigar. And Bugs walks away, and the cigar like explodes in his face, and like Taz just got him there, like
He got. See, that's the thing. He's not just a idiot in this one. Like he has ideas. Like again, that Wiley like attitude. It's still there.
Not full gone yet. We still have a little bit of cleverness just like sneaking in there. He might not be winning, but he is getting it.
He's getting it, yeah. I do want to talk about, this is another short where Wiley is kind of wrecking up the forest and Bugs Bunny stands up to him again. So again, I think it's kind of interesting. Wiley, despite Wiley,
I love how you call him Wiley.
Taz is kind of like an enemy of the forest in a way, despite being a creature of it. Like he seems to go beyond just being like a prey animal. Like he is an active enemy of the forest.
It's one thing to be, trying to get a meal. It's another thing to be like hated by everyone, and more so feared, I should say, feared by everyone who lives in like the forest area. Like he walks around and people are like hiding and cowering.
And he's just destroying things too.
Yeah, like he's disrupting the natural flow of things. Like he's like eating trees and stuff. It's like, what? That's where birds are living. You can't be eating their house. But he does it just because he doesn't even need to be eating trees. He can eat whatever he wants. He's kind of like selfish in that regard. Maybe that's part of like, oh my god. Yeah. One of Wiley's biggest things is he almost starves himself because he refuses to eat what he thinks is best for him, which is either Roadrunner or Bugs Bunny. Whereas Taz has like completely flipped that on its head. He doesn't care what it is. It's getting in his mouth and he's eating. He's ravenously hungry.
Taz is the gluttony sin coming
yes.
to. He's like repented his gluttony sin for so long and it's fully coming out.
Yeah, so that's why he looks so different, is he's eating a lot more and he's like morphing in a way. Ugh, scary.
Maybe that's how it works for all Looney Tunes. Like whatever sin they deny themselves the most of is like what they transform into. Like Porky denies his wrath.
Yes. Constantly. Oh my god. Yeah.
So when he denies it so much and it builds up, the wrath sin inside of him explodes and creates Dark Porky.
That's so true. That's gotta be how it works. It's their greatest vice come to life.
Simple. We figured it out.
We fucking cracked the code. Now let's talk about how this is technically not a Bugs or a Tasmanian Devil win. The end of the short.
Yeah.
So was it Bugs makes like a Frankenstein creation of some sort?
And he like makes it beat up Taz. And then it beats him up, and they both get beat up and need a doctor. Yes,
so this is a short that ends with both Taz and Bugs, like, crumpled on the ground, both, like, in pain and both needing a doctor. So they both lost. Like, this is a Bugs Bunny lose. Have we ever had, like, one of those?
No, he's never really... he's maybe, like, kind of, like, not super won before, but like he's never like just like ended a short beaten up, I think.
I don't think so either. And that's crazy. Like, I mean, what's this guy, this creature, this Frankenstein monster?
I did write Frankie win. in my notes.
This is another thing against Bugs Bunny, like, disliking the supernatural. Maybe this is, like, why. Because he knows he can be beat by it.
Okay, that's interesting. He's scared of wizards and witches and bats and vampires.
This kind of flips back on him because he has such a, I feel like, a god complex sometimes. And this is one of his own creations that he created with his own two hands, beating the shit out of him. He's not untouchable. He can't keep playing God.
Like, added a deeper level to this.
That's what I'm here for. That's what we're here for. But that's enough about that. You know, pick up your Taz and Wily action figures and put them in the junk drawer. We're closing that up for a bit because it's time to get back to what really matters.
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny versus the Looney Tunes Dog Collective.
Oh.
Let's fucking go!
You know it. You fucking know it. This one has a lot of dogs. There is a lot of dogs.
This is Foxy by Proxy. It stars Bugs Bunny and a pack of dogs with their kind of outcast dog named Willoughby, who is this big fat like beagle mix.
Willoughby might be my favorite Looney Tune dog now. I think
he's really good.
I really like Willoughby.
And it's this whole thing where this kind of connects to the other stuff we were talking about where they're there to hunt foxes. They do not care about Bugs Bunny. They do not want anything to do with him. They're not trying to get him. But Bugs sees them and just how like reckless they're being and how they're just running around kind of causing a mess, you know? And he decides he's going to like trick them, I guess to help the foxes out, because he dresses up like a fox so that he can kind of tease them and stuff. Is this another heroic Bugs moment, or was he just like getting involved in business he shouldn't?
I don't know. It's interesting. Like, you think he would hate like foxes because they probably try to eat him sometimes, but like again, I think he is some sort of protector of the woods.
Okay, in a way.
Yeah, I think he watches over the animals in the woods. I think maybe he knows he's like more intelligent than like most animals, and like he puts himself out there to protect them.
Yeah. Like he doesn't want, like, there's one of these shorts, I can't remember which one. There's like a baby deer that's like walking around and he's like, "Hey, you gotta get to cover." Like,
yeah,
there's a bunch of dogs or something. Yeah, he's trying to stick his neck out for them when he can. Maybe that's why he doesn't like it when like man comes to the forest, like Elmer. Like
That's true.
Because Elmer, you know, even if he's not being a nuisance or not really hunting or anything, he's still invading their, you know, their environment. Yeah, their space. Like, it's not safe to have a guy there. You know, the other forest animals won't be able to handle him. Now, Willoughby, he's kind of like a brick shit house. He's built like one. He's huge. He gets like hit by a train and he's like fine. And he just, I don't know, him alone Bugs would be able to handle. But here's the thing. Ooh. There's like 50 other dogs in this.
There is the dog collective in this one.
Oh, yes. And they're like, they move as one. You know, they have obviously like a leader of sorts, but after a while they kind of realize Bugs is fucking with them and they're like, you know what? We don't even give a shit anymore. We're chasing rabbits now. And it like tires Bugs out. Like, he is like panting and sweating and he's like scared.
There's a lot of dogs. It's like a dog blob. Like a whole blob of like dogs like moving around. There are so many dogs.
Yes, and I think we've seen Bugs get kind of exhausted by a large pack of dogs before, so this isn't anything super new, but it's just, you know, to emphasize he's not as invincible as you think he is. He can be outnumbered like pretty easily. And you think about all the Looney Tunes dogs there are, that's kind of scary.
He does fool most of them. We do have to be a little fair.
That's true. Doesn't he like, how does he get rid of them? Does he like trick them to fall off a cliff or something?
He lures them all into a log and they keep trying to they run out the other side of the log onto a cliff, like out of a cliff, and they run back in, and then he spins it around again so they run off the cliff again. He just does this over and over and over again for a bit. And then eventually he gets them.
Yeah, so they're down for the count. But hey, I bet you forgot about old Willoughby over here.
No, don't!
Willoughby has been saying how he wants to cut off a fox's tail, and that's his sole goal in the whole thing. And while Bugs is distracted with the other dogs, Willoughby cuts his tail off and takes it as a prize. So, Willoughby kind of
But it's interesting. Bugs doesn't seem that bothered by this though. He
not
just
really.
kind of goes, yeah, call me Stubby, and then walks off. Like I think the Bugs knows Willoughby isn't the real threat here. He got rid of the dogs that are gonna cause real chaos. If it gets Willoughby gone, he can have his tail.
That's true. So I'm going to count this as a half win for the Looney Tunes dog and like a neutral win for Bugs, because like
No. This is a win for Willoughby. Don't give it to the dogs.
You're right. It is
a win for Willoughby.
A Willoughby win right here. He got his goal. He got a tail, and he's really happy about it. So I emphasize that this happens though because Bugs can have his attention divided. Like, if that happens, it makes it a lot easier to take him on. So the key to beating Bugs is you have to have more than one person. If you're doing one-on-one versus Bugs, you're going to lose. It doesn't matter who you are. Well, maybe Dark Porky. We'll have to explore that at some point. But it's going to be a lot harder for you if you don't have backup.
Yeah. Too bad Bugs' enemies are idiots. They'll try to fight each
They'll
other.
never figure it out.
Yeah, and also if they figure it out, they'll, like, fight each other as they do it.
Absolutely.
Like, oh no, I want to shoot the rabbit, Elmer. Oh, it's my turn, or something like that.
Well, let's talk about our last one. We've said his name a lot, but this is a Porky and Daffy Duck one called Dime to Retire. This is another Daffy Duck sucks. It's a fucking scam artist motherfucker short. He's checked Porky into a seemingly cheap hotel, but he releases a mouse into his room, charges an enormous fee to get rid of it by putting a cat in it, and then he has to charge another fee to put a dog in it to get rid of the cat, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So you get the idea. Porky is, like, rich, I think.
Yeah, he's loaded. He seems like a bit he does have to give up money. He's just like, oh dear about it. But like he does it.
Yeah, he doesn't like get mad right away. Like he goes through the whole shebang. It kind of loops around on itself eventually. Like eventually there's an elephant in the room, and to get rid of the elephant, he has to bring in the mouse again.
Right.
And like he goes through that whole thing. Like he pays like hundreds of dollars just to get a good night's sleep. And like he's annoyed obviously, but he's not like sobbing or like facing bankruptcy. So, do you think that Porky got his wealth from, like, his farm? Or does he have, like, another, like, job or something?
Farmers make a lot of money.
Okay, yeah, I mean, he's got a pretty decent-sized farm, and he's got the world's largest rooster in the fucking world.
Yeah.
maybe that counts for something. Do you think he's ever taken Foghorn Leghorn to, like, a state fair? And been like, here's my rooster. He's, like, 10 feet tall.
He probably has once, and it was so annoying that he never did it again.
Foghorn
Leghorn was like inseparable at the state fair. Probably like, oh, I say I'm the biggest rooster. I'll say the biggest chicken in here. Scale me up to size. Scale me up to the weight. I'm the biggest, fattest chicken in this room. I say. And everyone was like, oh my god, shut him up, please.
Please, just get him out of here. Well, there's not much to say about this one that we haven't already really covered. I just kind of wanted to emphasize this ending here, where Porky, he decides he's had enough, and there's like gunpowder or something. Yes. He blows up the hotel. Seemingly accidentally. He doesn't seem to do it on purpose. But when he starts his car, like a trail of gunpowder goes back to the hotel and blows it to Kingdom Come. And Daffy just loses everything, which is very fitting because Daffy's a bastard.
That does raise a lot of questions about why Porky was packing this.
Yeah, why was he? But he did have it in his bag, and at the end of the day, it could have been like a little bit of his dark form, like, seeping through, maybe planting some seeds that regular Porky wouldn't realize.
Yeah,
maybe.
Dark Porky took over for a second and said, pack the gunpowder, don't pack clothes.
I think that when in this phase right now, Porky is like kind of switching back and forth pretty erratically. It's kind of like a Green Goblin effect. Where he looks in the mirror and he kind of like sees a more sinister version of himself. Then he like shakes his head and he's like, no, that's not me.
That's not me. No. I wrote in my notes that Daffy's basically running a saw trap in this episode.
Oh yeah, he basically is. It's fucked up what he's doing to Porky. Porky just wants to sleep. Come on, leave him alone.
I was kind of mad because Porky looks so happy when he's sleeping. And Daffy just won't stop it, and I kind of hate him in this one. Like, I'm usually like, it's all fun and games. Like, they're having a good time. I'm kind of just mad at him in this one. Like, I just want Porky to fucking sleep. Like, is that too much to ask?
Let's kill Daffy Duck.
Finally!
Well, that's all the shorts we had today. Do we have any fun comments?
Okay, here's a good one. From Vague Rudy 8084. In the episode, we see Porky enter his dark state. In this form, he hates Daffy's advances. Also, that Dark Porky is homophobic, ergo meaning Light Porky is gay/an ally.
Well, I guess if we're going by what we've been talking about, I guess that makes sense. Like, do their sexualities like flip when they switch to their dark form?
That might be true. Maybe Bugs Bunny, when he becomes Dark Bugs Bunny, becomes like absurdly heterosexual.
Well, I mean, if we think about the Wily Taz thing, if Wily has big romantic feelings for Bugs and maybe even Roadrunner at some point, and then when he turns into Taz, he wants a wife. Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Oh my goodness, you're right. Maybe their sexualities get all fucked up when
they switch to their dark form.
All their dark forms are unbearably heterosexual.
So Porky might be down for getting with Daffy, maybe like a one-night stand. Like, he's maybe down for it when he's maybe had a few and he sees Daffy across the bar and he's like, oh boy, like, what am I getting myself into? But hey, you know what? You only live once. But Dark Porky is kind of homophobic about it.
No, I wouldn't sleep with another man.
Yeah, exactly. He seems very uninterested in it and, in fact, very offended by it in some cases. Well, we'll have to explore that more in the future.
We got a pretty long one here about Sylvester the Cat. Let me read this. This is from Brickhead9111. Now that we know about the existence of a stereotypical Italian Sylvester, it really makes you think, is Sylvester singing the Speedy cartoons the same Sylvester as the Tweety cartoons? In the Speedy shorts, where Sylvester is the antagonist, it's made clear to the viewer that this cat isn't named to Mexico unlike Speedy and the other mice. Could it be this some alternate universe where Granny never had Tweety as a pet? Sylvester and her travel to Mexico for trips or they live here. It's shown a few shorts as Granny and Hector the Bulldog and Sylvester before discovering Tweety. For instance, the cartoon gift wrapped, Tweety is sent to the Granny as a present for Christmas while showing it to Sylvester and Hector. Possible that in the Speedy universe, these 447 haven't aligned yet. Sylvester is stuck in a vicious cycle of chasing Speedy instead.
Well, I haven't really seen a lot of the Speedy and Sylvester ones. In fact, I don't think we've watched a single Speedy Gonzales short. Which we might have to get on that. I guess the timelines could be a little fucked up, or we can consider it an alternate universe. I feel like the Speedy and Sylvester verse is like a completely different thing going on.
Yeah.
But it also begs the question, maybe there are multiple Sylvesters. Like, there's an Italian Sylvester, maybe there's a Sylvester who, maybe he's not Mexican Sylvester, but he's a Sylvester who strayed away from wherever he was, came from, and ended up in Mexico, completely separate from Granny and Tweety and Hector the Bulldog.
There's Elmer's Backyard Sylvester.
Yeah, there's Elmer's Backyard Sylvester also. That's a whole thing over there. There's the Sylvester that lives on Porky's farm. Maybe there's more than one Sylvester.
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed the Council of Sylvesters.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So I think, if anything, adds ammunition to the concept, it's even more than Sylvester. There's just clones of all the Looney Tunes running around. We've seen cloning technology with
That's right.
Wily.
With Wily.
Maybe the Looney Tunes verse is filled with clones.
That's scary. Well, before we leave today, make sure you leave a comment, because next episode is going to be our versus matchup episode. You give us a character, 2 or 3, give us a fun scenario, and we'll talk about it and what would happen, how it would end. Sometimes short and sweet is the best because that gives us some room to play in a little bit. But I want to see some real wild matchups, some real out there scenarios. Really, just come on, let's see them. Put them in the comments. We'll make a Twitter post also probably. So, yeah. Well, thank y'all for coming by. I feel like I've learned a lot today. I feel like I've said more bullshit out of my mouth today than I ever have in my entire life.
This is not a good beginner episode. You gotta be
absolutely not.
You gotta be.
Hey, oh man, I've been listening to this really fun episode, the really fun podcast, Looney Duels. Oh, they just released a new episode. Why don't we listen to it together? Do not. Don't do that to your friends.
I don't even know. They're gonna watch this. I'm gonna be calling Taz Wiley half the episode.
Well, that's all, folks. Bye-bye.
Bye.